Hey, Matt Allen here. Welcome back to Tactical Bass. And what I want to talk to you guys about this week is a concept called rate of stall. That's an S, rate of stall. I can't take credit for it. The first time I heard somebody actually put a name to the concept was Matt Peters a couple of years ago. And it's something that I was very aware of, something I thought about quite a bit, but I'd never really heard somebody put words to it. And I think it's an idea that's very important for everyday bass fishing. Everybody's familiar with rate of fall, right? You throw a bait out, how fast does it sink to the bottom? That's your rate of fall, the speed that a bait's gonna fall. Rate of stall, on the other hand, is the rate of speed that a bait is coming back to you. So you throw a bait out, you start working it back to the boat, the speed that it's traveling towards you is rate of stall. Now that seems like such a simple concept, but it's something that we overlook so often, and it can make such a difference. You know, where I see it a little bit with topwater, but the primary place that I'm gonna see it is sinking baits. You know, if you're fishing a bait on a bottom, not a big deal, although it does come into play. Say you're jig fishing and you're not getting bit, and all of a sudden you slow down, just really start working that bait slow, you start getting bit. Rate of stall is definitely having an impact there. But where you see it a lot is going to be like the swim jig, chatter baits, spinner baits, rattle baits, even glide baits, soft swim baits, anything that's traveling through the middle of the water column. Understanding each bait's rate of stall and how they compare to each other is vital. You know, if you're out on a bite and you're out there one day and you're smashing them on a 3/4 ounce lipless, like an LV 500, and all of a sudden the next day you can't buy a bite, they may have stopped eating a lipless. That is possible. But if you understand rate of stall, the first thing you're gonna do is take that 3/4 ounce bait off, and you're gonna either go up or you're gonna go down. You're either gonna go up to like a 1 ounce bait, or you're gonna go down to a 1/2 ounce or a 3/8, something like that. Drop down to a little LV 100. That way you can slow that bait down and actually change the speed that you're coming through the water. And you may very well find that it's not that your lipless bite went away, it's that the speed the fish were willing to feed at has changed. And if you don't understand the difference between a 1/4 ounce bait and a 3/4 ounce bait, you're gonna miss that pattern altogether. Yeah, swim jigs is another one. You can throw a little tiny finesse swim jig. One day they're smashing it, the next day they're not. You think the swim jig bite is over, but what you find out is that this little tiny bait that you were just creeping through the water, all of a sudden they don't want it anymore. You step up to like a 3/4 ounce California swim jig and you're just burning it through the middle of the water column, and now they're reacting to it. They're willing to eat that bait. Another place I see it a lot is the Alabama rig. One day I'll have 1/2 ounce heads on that bait. The next day I'll have 1/8 ounce heads on that bait, just to change the speed. Again, very simple concept. Change the speed that I'm coming through the water, change the speed that the fish are reacting to. If you take that concept, apply it to your baits, whether it's glide baits, how fast, because one glide bait will come through the water very quickly. If you slow it down, it'll just come in a straight line. The next glide bait will have a really slow, methodical crawl. Like a Gancraft is a bait that goes really slow, really fluid. But if you really want to speed it up, I step up to like an S-Waver, because that's a bait that you can go really fast without blowing out. So again, it's just a concept that I want you guys to be aware of. Think about it when you're out on the water, when a pattern starts fading on you, something you were doing yesterday isn't working today. Instead of immediately going to something different, think about the speed that your bait is going and see if you can adjust that, either just with your retrieve speed or with changing the weight, changing the trailer, to get that bait to run different speeds, and you may find that those fish are ready to go, willing to eat that bait again. I hope that helps. If you like the video, please subscribe to the channel. We appreciate all your support. We'll talk to you soon.